Dear Eric, I am very grateful that I stumbled upon your video. My life has been in shambles for the past few years, but after hearing your wife's devastating story that had me crying all the way to the end, it gave me hope. So much hope, I manifested $257,037 and lost a whopping 47 pounds. Oh, it feels great to look in the mirror these days, knowing that I have 6 figures in the bank account. I was skeptical about it working at first, but thank God I tried. The part that worked best was when you show the easy formula at the end of your video. Thank you so much. Olivia.
I don't think both are gonna make it. The ambulance siren shrieked in our ears. We sped through the streets en route to the hospital. My pregnant wife, Sherry, sucked oxygen greedily. Her skin had turned a slightly pale shade of blue. Before I go any further, my name is Eric Soams, and my wife, Sherry, was strapped to a gurney with our baby in distress. It was Sherry's first pregnancy, and now their lives were in danger. The EMTs were barking orders to each other and yelling over their microphones to the hospital. Patient is a 32-year-old female. She's 24 weeks pregnant. Blood pressure is 200/99. Oxygen sat is 79. Have cardiologist and OB/GYN ready. We'll be there in 7 minutes. I felt helpless as the EMTs carried my wife into the ER. I tried to follow her, but the people at the desk stopped me. Sir, we need some information and history so we can take care of your wife. Every time the door to the ER opened, I could see doctors and nurses racing into my wife's room. Soon I was able to join them in the room, where I was forced to stand on the side. Finally, the OB/GYN came over and asked me if I would join him for a cup of coffee. I followed him through twisted paths to the cafeteria, where I grabbed a cup of coffee and sat down at the table. After the doctor introduced himself, he began to give me an update on my wife's condition. I'm afraid your wife has preeclampsia. She has extremely high blood pressure, and the baby is a lot smaller and less developed than it needs to be. I suddenly couldn't swallow or breathe. Is she going to be okay? Is the baby going to be okay? The doctor stirred his coffee before answering. Both your wife and the baby are in extreme distress. Until we get some more tests back, I can't be sure, but at this point, I don't think that both are going to make it. At that point, nothing the doctor said made any sense to me. He was talking and explaining, but my brain was shut down. When he got up to go back to my wife, I followed. When I got back to the ER, the charge nurse took me aside. You need to call your wife's family. They keep calling the desk, demanding to know what's going on. What's going on? Why haven't you called us? My mother-in-law yelled into the phone. I just sobbed into the phone. You better get down here. I'm not sure either one is gonna make it. Then, as I looked at the phone, I saw messages from a number I didn't recognize. There were 32 messages from a local number. Someone wanted to get in front of me. Hey Eric, this is Sarah. I'm Sherry's yoga teacher. She called me and said she was going to the hospital. I'm on my way. Great. What the heck was she gonna do? Have everyone do downward dog? The charge nurse came into the room again. There's a lady in the waiting room asking for you. She says she's your wife's best friend and yoga teacher. She can't come in here, but you can talk to her out there. Sarah was already a bundle of energy. Is it preeclampsia? Sherry was afraid of this. She knew? I was stunned. Yes, she didn't want to scare you, Sarah answered softly. The doctors said they aren't sure if either one is gonna make it. I could barely get the words out. Doctors don't know the future, Eric. I want you to take this and show it to your wife. What is that? I asked. It looks like a soccer logo. Sarah laughed. That picture is the most powerful medicine for your wife. I'm gonna wait here and meditate. You go in and show this to your wife and come back in an hour and let me know what happens in there. What? You think this picture is gonna do something? I was incredulous. Sarah took my hand. Sherry is my best friend. Do this for me. Don't make a big deal of it in front of the doctors. I grabbed the picture and went back into the room. Sherry, resting peacefully. The oxygen changed her skin color back to pink. The monitors were no longer blaring alarms. Hey babe, guess who's in the waiting room? I held up the picture so Sherry could see it. She looked, and a mini smile appeared on her exhausted face. Then she closed her eyes and started deep breathing. Almost at once, the alarm sounds faded. Sherry was resting comfortably. The charge nurse poked her head through the curtains since the alarms had stopped. I guess the medication started working, she said thankfully, and continued on her way. I went to the waiting room and updated Sarah. That's not just a picture. It's called a yantra. Just by looking at the right yantra, you can accomplish anything. I blurted out. The nurse said the medicines had taken effect. Sarah smiled. Did Sherry close her eyes and start breathing deeply after you showed her the yantra? How did you know? I inquired. Because we've been preparing for this day for several weeks. You knew this was coming? I was incredulous that Sherry held this from me. Yes, we were prepared for this, Sherry explained. Right now, Sherry is practicing some meditations I taught her. All is going to be fine. I was upset, but the doctor said only one might make it. Sarah laughed. I want you to understand there are some powerful forces in the universe. At that moment, Sarah reached across and touched my forehead with her thumb. At that moment, my life changed. The instant her thumb touched my forehead, I can't even describe the situation. Although it was midday, my mind went pitch black. I was under the stars. There was a surge of energy running through my body. I was soaring above the planet. I felt happiness surging through my veins. I saw Sherry smiling and holding a little baby girl in her hands. I saw the three of us on the floor playing with our daughter. In the background, I heard Queen singing, "We are the champions. We are the champions. We are the champions." And then her thumb left my forehead, and I was back in the waiting room with Sarah. This time I was energized and confident. What was that? I asked her breathlessly. That is called Shaktaput. It's an ancient technique to connect you to the energy of the universe. When I transferred this energy to your body, you noticed the immediate difference. How do you feel? She asked. I feel terrific. I feel grounded and connected. And after a few moments, I added, I don't feel any worry about Sherry and the baby at all. And then she touched my forehead again. I didn't realize it at the time, but the energy rush was even more than last time. Without thinking about it, I literally fell into a chair, but I never noticed it. Mr. Soames, wake up. They moved your wife to a private room. Her friend is with her, and now your wife's family is there. I charged up to Sherry's room. On one side of the room, Sherry and Sarah were calm and smiling. On the other side, my in-laws were clearly frightened. Eric, can we talk to you? Sherry's dad whispered. My in-laws led the way down the hall to a family lounge. We spoke to the doctor. We know that soon you're going to have to make a choice to save either the baby or Sherry. We want you to know our position. I barely heard his words. I had the experience from Sarah, and I was confident Sherry would be all right. I nodded at my in-laws and excused myself to go back to Sherry's room. As I expected, Sarah was in the middle of her planning. Every day we are going to meet, and we are going to practice meditation and study the yantra photos. Eric, I want you to be there too. I need you for proof. Proof for your poor in-laws. They are so frightened and don't believe in anything but surgery. Eric, you are going to get everything your heart wishes for. Aside from a healthy wife and baby, from this day forward, you will have all the money you ever wished for. You don't have to even work for it. It will flow to you. My mind was stunned. Was this a joke? But then I checked in with my body. I was confident everything would be fine. What you did to me by touching my forehead, is that something I can do to others? The day will come when you will be able to help people achieve their dreams. I promise. We shook hands before I returned to our home to get some of Sherry's things. I had zero fears on the drive home. My biggest problem was thinking what I would tell my in-laws. I knew they would mock me if I told them the story of Sarah. Every day I went to the hospital to visit Sherry and sneak in her favorite foods. Every day I practiced the meditations Sarah taught me. Every day I stared at the yantras Sarah showed us until they were like old friends to me. But that was only the beginning. It was the beginning of a series of strange coincidences. My bank called about a large deposit. I had received a check from a place I had worked for, and they closed down without paying me. Apparently someone new had bought the company and decided to pay off all the debts. The deposit was for $12,262. A few days later, my manager at the real estate agency called me into his office. The big boss was sitting next to him. I had no idea what was going on. Eric, what happened with that beach home last week? Instead of answering the question, I asked the obvious question. Is everything okay? I didn't do anything wrong. No, nothing is wrong. The woman you showed the house to was the wife of someone big in corporate. She liked you so much, you're going to be manager of our new luxury and jumbo home branch. There's a significant salary increase, and you get a % of every house your branch sells. A few months from now, you're going to be rich. I sat inside the office for the rest of the afternoon, filling out the paperwork. I broke the news to Sherry on the phone. Now do you really believe what Sarah is showing us works? As I headed out of the office, the big boss walked over. He handed me a set of keys and asked for my car keys. He spoke when he saw my confusion. New branch managers get a new car as a perk. We'll take care of the lease on your old car. Let's walk outside and see your new car. I walked around the shiny red Tesla in a fog. Other agents came up to me as soon as the news was out. Eric, my man, can I borrow some money? I could barely believe it when my first commission check started coming in. I got 0.5% on every sale that closed in my office. It may seem small, but every house was a minimum of $1 million. I got $50,000 just for supervising. Eric, you aren't doing anything with drugs, are you? In-laws always thinking the worst. What was I supposed to tell them? So I told them the truth. They burst out laughing. Listen, when she touched me, she transferred some hidden powers to me. I don't understand it, but the proof is all this money showing up. The last weeks of Sherry's pregnancy flew by. Her condition had changed so radically due to Sarah's work, the doctors asked her to teach an alternative medicine seminar at the hospital. Sherry's delivery was easy. It was virtually painless. Sarah attended the birth and directed Sherry's breathing. It was over before I knew it. I was looking down at our daughter, counting her fingers and toes. Everything was perfect. She nursed immediately. After handing the baby to the nurses for a quick cleanup, I went into the hall and gave the news to my in-laws. They rushed into the room and hugged Sherry, peeked at the baby, and gave hug thanks to Sarah. But the next day changed my life forever. Sherry's phone rang, and she handed the call to me. Eric, it was my father-in-law. Yes, it is, I answered. Do you remember your conversations with Sarah? Of course, I remember every word. Well, that gal impressed the heck out of us. We seriously thought you were crazy when you were talking about how pictures and meditation were going to help her. Sherry insisted we join in a few meditation sessions, and we became firm believers. Now, you take care of Sherry and the baby, and we want to meet with you with Sarah next week. As I hung up the phone, I told my wife about the call. She grinned. My father has a proposition for you. Just hear him out. Sarah taught my mom and dad many times. At first, they did it just to make me happy. But in a very short time, they saw miracles in a very short time. Like what? I inquired. Well, for one, my dad's investments skyrocketed. His financial portfolio has doubled in the past month. Every single investment has gone up. And my mom's health has gotten better. She had so much inflammation in her body she could hardly walk. Now she's back to playing tennis and working in her garden. And between the two of them, things have never been better. They used to argue about everything. Not anymore. They're like lovebirds. After baby Samantha was settled in the nursery, my father-in-law motioned to me to sit down in the living room. My mother-in-law and Sherry joined us. These past few months have opened my eyes to an important concept. Seeing is believing. Once people see something work, they begin to believe it. The more times you see it, the more you believe it, until finally it's a fact or reality. But the reverse is also true. Believing is seeing. If you don't believe in something, you will never see anything. Dad, what's this all about? We didn't believe anything Sarah said was more than hocus pocus. We went along with it because we didn't want to upset you or Sherry. We were ready to transfer Sherry to a different hospital for a risky surgery, but something changed. We saw firsthand what happened to your business. Then we saw Sherry's condition improve rapidly, despite what the doctors were saying. Then when we started doing Sarah's meditations, we saw miracles in our own lives. My financial holdings have doubled since I started believing. They keep going up. Finally, my wife is out playing tennis like a teenager. Her pain in her joints is gone. So, we had a meeting with Sarah and asked her how we could take what she taught us and help more people. Do you know what she answered? Nope. I still had no clue where this was going. She said this was going to be your mission in life. She believes that if everyone knew these techniques, everyone could live the life of their dreams. Imagine people never having money problems again. They can pay for whatever they want with their own money. This is a world where people can raise their children in nice homes, take their families on vacations, send their children or grandchildren to the best schools. No more bad credit notices for people. No more bank accounts overdrawn. Everyone gets to live a life of abundance. Eric, I know you're living a good life now. Our dream is to help everyone. My mother-in-law added, Sarah knew that money was your immediate need and your dream, but it's not everyone's dream. There are families that can't have children. There are people who have never found their soulmate. There are couples fighting that want to stay together. There are people whose lovers have stormed off after a fight and they desperately want them back. Eric, you are the one Sarah chose to make this happen. Sarah entered the room and came up to me. She smiled. May I touch your forehead? As soon as her thumb touched my forehead, it was lights out again for me. I saw a vision of literally millions of people with headphones on their heads smiling. I saw families with moving vans moving into new homes. People driving shiny new cars up the driveways. I saw people welcoming new babies into their homes. I saw couples getting married. And I saw people sending me so many thank you notes I needed a secretary to answer them. And once again, the yantra symbols I had seen in the hospital marched across my vision. I opened my eyes and understood the entire plan. Sarah explained, we've spent the past few weeks in the studio using the most up-to-date brain technology. It's light years ahead of where the rest of the world is. All people need to do is listen to these sessions for 30 days and look at yantras, and they will find all their dreams coming true. I was stunned. What exactly is my role in this? So, how does this work? I can't go door to door teaching people these techniques. Sarah was gentle. Eric, this is going to work. You cannot fail. Trust the energy. Trust yourself. I started using Sarah's techniques every single day. Honestly, I barely knew what I was doing when, holy cow, the cash started flowing in. Did I say flowing in? It was overflowing in. I was making thousands of dollars every single day. People wanted to make me a celebrity with my overnight success, but I had a mission. The first thing I did was buy a new home for Sherry and Samantha, but then I donated the cost of 10 homes to Habitat for Humanity. Then Sarah called. Eric, can we tell you another secret? Money is really energy. If you want to see results, start spreading your money around. 10-4, I understood. I started feeding every single homeless person in my city. I would load my truck with bags of food and go to every place where the homeless would congregate. Under bridges, in back of supermarkets, near the garbage dumpsters, and especially near train tracks. Anyone I saw there, I gave food to. Over time, I began to teach them some of the techniques I learned. I was disappointed to find out not a single one made progress. Sarah explained it to me. Eric, are you familiar with the law of attraction? What are the 3 steps? I answered immediately. Ask, believe, receive. Sarah asked me, Eric, did these people ask you to teach them? Actually, it was my idea, I answered. Exactly, Sarah said. You're teaching people who didn't ask you. She took it to the next level. Did any of these people believe you? I shrugged my shoulders. I guess not a single one. Then how did you expect this to work? You can only help people who want to be helped. The light went off in my brain. And once that happened, I knew exactly what to do to spread happiness and wealth throughout the world. If people came to me and asked for help, I would reveal everything to them. Lord, this was way too easy. All you had to do was focus on the images of the flags and listen to the meditations, and whatever you wanted would happen. OMG, I suddenly understood how easy this was for people. I began to get excited, and my plan took shape, and now I wanted to know if I can help you. This is about as big as I can take it. Would you be willing to dramatically change your life in the next 30 days if you knew you could not fail? I promise that if you use these every day, you'll start to see miracles in less than 30 days. In fact, if you don't see a change in the next 30 days, I don't want your money at all. Now I'm going to give you the exact same techniques Sarah taught us. Now, here's the really important thing for you to keep in mind. Normally, it takes years to learn to perfect these techniques. They tell you it could take years to learn these techniques. Nonsense. Most programs demand you sit in absolute silence with a clear mind for 60 to 90 minutes a day. Because most folks don't have that time available daily, it's over for them before they start. Secondly, if you try to sit in silence, something occurs. Your brain starts to distract you. It's called the monkey mind. Taming the monkey mind is a lifelong process. The teachings I share bypass all of that. You just sit and listen and get the results you want. Nothing could be easier. These are the exact techniques that made me millions and millions of dollars. And for the first time anywhere, I'm going to share the secret behind those powerful yantra images with you. Get excited as I tell you what's included. If you're the kind of person who wants to understand everything, I'd recommend starting with my video training on the 5 meditative frequencies. It's handy for understanding exactly why you are going to get amazing results. Or you can go straight to the powerful meditations I'm including. It's worth trading 10 minutes of your time for results you never even dreamed of. You can use earphones or headphones, or just listen over your phone speaker. Some people like to fall asleep with these playing in their ears throughout the night. That's a great extra thing to do. But the main thing to do is while you are awake, just 4 times a week. Honestly, that's all it takes. I've created a private community to help you succeed. Something you'll need to help you overcome limiting beliefs. I don't care what it takes, as long as you get results. I am committed to changing the world one person at a time, starting with you. If you ever heard of Napoleon Hill, the greatest personal change expert of our century, he recommended masterminds, where great minds think alike. We want you associating with others who are looking for change. Like President Kennedy once said, "A rising tide raises all ships. Together, we will be uplifted." But I'm not done with what I have to change your life. Bonus number 1, Wealth Frequency Binaural Beat Track. Bonus number 1, Preparing your brain to change. I have a special binaural beats session to boost your financial success. Binaural beats work using a technique called brain entrainment. Entrainment is exactly what it sounds like. It's training your brain to operate with a wealth-generating frequency. Binaural beats are used by athletes, personal change experts, and professionals to change their state to prepare for important changes in their lives. When you listen to binaural beats, you may hear some slight beeping sounds in the background as your brain syncs to success. Bonus number 2, my Wealth Visuals program. There's an old saying that seeing is believing. When you start seeing what your new life can bring to you, it convinces the brain, this is real, this is happening. So my personal wealth visuals will help convince your brain to believe this is happening to you within the next 30 days. Bonus number 3, Kundalini Touch Exercise. Bonus number 3, I learned that when Sarah touched my forehead, she was using Kundalini energy. Getting that energy moving in your body is my goal, so you can absorb the energy and power from the universe and use it to transform your life. I'm convinced with a little bit of practice, you may discover you have the gift too. Bonus number 4, Supernatural Third Eye Activation Exercises. No matter the meditation system, people are aware of something called the third eye. That's the place where I was touched on the forehead. I'd like to help you open your third eye. Some people say the third eye is connected to the pineal gland in the brain. When you put very light pressure on the eyelids, the pineal gland senses light. I want you to experience the same dramatic shifts that I had. This is very powerful and will lead to the most profound changes in your life. Bonus number 5, the Divine Walking Guided Meditation Audios. Truly enlightened people try to think of the divine at all times. Like the Bible says, when you walk on the path, I've created these meditations so you can access the divine within you just by listening to these sessions. Life-changing, no doubt. I want you to access the power of constantly being connected to the divine. You are getting access to the complete system Sarah taught us. This is the exact same system that has generated more and more wealth each year for me. It's made millions and millions for me. I expect it will do the same for you as well. And there's one more thing. Bonus number 6, the secret of the pictures. I discovered those flags weren't ordinary flags you'd see at any grand opening or car dealer. Heck no. Those flags had a real name. They are called yantras. It's meditation with the eyes. All you need to do is look at them and think of what you want. The yantras unlock your deepest desires. They are powerful tools. There are just 3 requirements. Number 1, you must ask for the results by downloading and listening to these sessions or looking at the yantras. Number 2, you must believe this will change your life. Number 3, when the abundance comes, share it with others and help better our world. These sessions are not available anywhere but right here and now. If you want results, order right now. Remember those ancient brass lamps, the kind you see in movies like Aladdin? You know the type. You rub the lamp and a genie comes out and grants your wishes. We can do the same exact thing for you right now. That's why I'm calling this program of secret teachers the Genie Script. It's as if you have your own personal genie to call upon and deliver whatever you need. Just look at what you get when you summon your genie.
Hi everyone, I'm Lottie M. Silvis. I want to do a quick review with the Genie Script program. Motivated, dedicated, let's go. This excellent program will help you learn how to meditate correctly and help you with your mindset, knowing what you want and knowing what your desires are. Get yours today.
I really believe in this program. I believe in Wesley, I believe in Ariella, and they say quit your job, change your environment. And I'm doing that. I've been meditating 3 times a day. I watched all the videos on Done For You services. And still checking the Zoom meetings on Done For You services. But believe me, you can learn so much from them. Just do it. I really believe that I will make a very good successful business out of this.
And it's called the Genie Script. And if you haven't got it, you really need to check it out because it really has changed my life. He teaches you how to be more positive, and things just start attracting good things in your life. But you don't take my word for it. You can check it out yourself. It's really not that expensive. It's like going out to dinner. Anyway, check it out.
Hey, I just want to take a quick second to talk to you about the Genie Script. This program has literally changed my life. I'm learning how to meditate better, focusing better. The meditation itself has actually changed my life. I've always followed Wes. He knows what he's talking about. The Genie Script, probably one of the best purchases I've ever made, and I've made a lot of purchases for self-help and other stuff, and this by far is definitely what I needed. The Genie Script truly, truly changed my life. The meditation's in here. How he explains it, can't beat it. Thank you, Wesley.
Hey guys, have you purchased the Genie Script yet? I did. I purchased the Genie Script and it worked. It changed my life. The Genie Script meditation is so powerful and it is so easy to apply. In just 30 days of practicing, your life will never be the same. And it's a promise. Let's go!
So guys, I bought the Genie Script, and the meditation in the Genie Script is super powerful. It totally works. It has changed my life. Far beyond the best meditation I've ever done. You have to get the Genie Script. It is super powerful.
I would like to give a huge shout out to Wesley $1 Billion Virgin and also thank him for creating the Genie Script. I have been using the Genie Script for about 6 months now, and I have seen huge character changes in myself. I am much more calm and relaxed during stressful situations. I am more grateful to God, the people around me, and the things that I have. I am also a bit financially secure than what I was previously. I would highly recommend the Genie Script to anyone who's looking forward to creating a beautiful life in the future. And again, I would like to thank Wesley $1 Billion Virgin for creating the Genie Script.
I just want to give a quick testimonial to Wesley $1 Billion Virgin. You know what? He's a king. He truly changed my life. You know, after taking this course, Genie Script, which I have now completed in like a couple days, it's really good. It's really changed my mindset in regards to perspective, in regards to just the way I look at the bad situations is not certainly bad anymore. It's more of a, this is gonna help me grow. This is gonna make me who I deserve to be. Successful, the ideal self. And so after repeatedly, taking notes and being one with that program, I consider it done. Man, it's life-changing, I swear.
No matter where you are in life, no matter how much you have suffered in the past, I'd rather focus on your future. It's now a question of how much do you want that financial safety net, that freedom, and that time with your family, and wanting that now. You can't think about the future, retirement, anything, because you're too worried. If you're hoping and praying your electricity doesn't get shut off, it's hard to dream. You don't have the money to give your kids what they need. You want to help them enrich their lives and give them a head start in life. You're chained to your job, and whether you like it or not, you're not in control of anything that happens. So you never know if you'll be laid off or fired without any warning. You end up spending so much time and energy on a job that doesn't pay you enough. And even if it does, the mental and physical strain aren't worth it, because it doesn't let you spend time with your family or do the things you really want in life, like travel and relax. For once in your life, you're calling the shots. You can press the button and dictate your future. Not your boss, not your bank, not anybody else. This is your time, so make it count.